Did you know the greatest shooter in NBA history spends his money on everything from $10 candy bags to a $50 million mansion? We're talking about Steph Curry, a guy who buys Sour Patch Kids like they're vitamins, owns cars most players can't even dream of, and yes, even has a toilet that's more high-tech than some people's phones. From the cheap, funny stuff to the jaw-dropping millionaire lifestyle, today we're diving into the wildest things Steph Curry owns. Popcorn obsession. Did you know Steph Curry might be the biggest popcorn addict in NBA history? I'm serious, this man eats it everywhere. On the court, off the court, even in commercials. He's got a popcorn bobblehead, he sneaks it during family time, and yes, he's literally been caught driving while eating popcorn. It's wild. He's tasted it in every single NBA arena just to make his own rankings, with Brooklyn, Miami, and Dallas at the top, and poor LA sitting dead last. But here's the funniest part. At Chase Center, his own home court, the obsession got so big they actually printed his face on $10 popcorn buckets that fans could buy.
Curry 11 sneakers, $160. It sounds unbelievable, but one of Steph's most talked about luxury items isn't a mansion or a car. It's a pair of sneakers that turned the Oscars upside down. When Steph dropped his Curry 11s in red, blue, and gold, the last place anyone expected to see them was on the biggest red carpet in Hollywood. Yet there was Adam Sandler, with over $400 million, walking past tuxedos and designer gowns like he was about to check into a YMCA game. Cameras flashing, everyone else polished head to toe, and then Sandler strolls in rocking 160 Currys like it was just another Tuesday. The internet exploded. Fans joked he looked ready to hoop at halftime, memes spread like wildfire, and people kept asking, "Adam, what are you wearing?" But here's the twist. Steph himself jumped online to say Sandler made the right call. And honestly, that's peak Curry energy. Simple, funny, and proving you don't need millions on your feet to steal the spotlight.
You know Steph has dropped thousands of dollars? Not on jewelry, not on cars, but on his pets. Steph isn't just the guy with that dog in him on the court. He literally loves having dogs around his family. He's so obsessed that he once wore custom sneakers with his dog's fur stitched in. For years, his Labradoodles Rez and Blue were always by his side, traveling with the family and showing up in photos. When Rez passed away, Steph was crushed. You could see the missing piece in the Curry household. Rez even got memorialized on a basketball as a tribute. Now it's just Blue, who lived nearly 12 years, and the new puppy Rookie, a golden doodle they brought home for $3,800. And Rookie isn't just a pet. Steph trained him, spoiled him with treats, and kept him by his side like a teammate. Honestly, for Steph, dogs aren't an accessory, they're family.
Subway jersey, $6,300. But here's the wild part. Something as simple as what Steph wore suddenly turned into big money, all thanks to Subway. Yeah, you heard that right. The guy wasn't just draining threes, he was out here promoting sandwiches. He showed up in a Subway ad pushing his new sub called The Boss. And trust me, even saying the name makes me hungry. Picture this, a foot-long stacked with meatballs, pepperoni, marinara sauce dripping everywhere, and not one, but 2 layers of provolone cheese. Absolute chaos for your diet. While filming, Steph was smashing that sub like it was Game 7, sauce all over the place, then casually signed an exclusive 101 jersey Subway made just for him. And when it hit auction, that messy little jersey ended up selling for $6,300. From marinara stains to thousands of dollars. Only Steph could pull that off.
Cartier Santos watch, which is still cheaper than Steph's next buy that had a famous jeweler glazing it up. Picture this, Steph Curry, the NBA's sharpshooter, rocking a Cartier Santos 40mm that went through a full DLC process, basically. The case is blacked out and paired with a slick black leather strap. It's low-key, smooth, and honestly feels like the kind of piece you'd wear grabbing coffee, not breaking three-point records. That's the wild part. It's humble, casual, and somehow fits Curry's everyday vibe perfectly. And of course, the internet noticed. Watch fan pages on Instagram can't stop zooming in on Steph's wrist because that humble watch still costs a cool $8,000.
High-tech toilet, $10,000. But Steph got something worth more than gold to him. Something that not only helps him poop, it actually helps him hoop. Yeah, you heard that right. Steph Curry, the greatest shooter on the planet, swears his performance got better thanks to a toilet. And not just any toilet. Steph tweeted, "So my wife bought me a new toilet for the house. You know, one of those automatic ones. This thing is straight out of the future. The lid opens when you walk in, closes when you walk out, the seat warms up to your exact liking, the water pressure is customizable, and it even cleans itself." Basically, Steph never has to lift a finger. But here's the wild part. He claims this toilet actually makes him a better basketball player. He said it just makes him happy in life. And when Steph's happy, the shots fall. He even joked, "If I did a case study on my performance since I got that toilet, you'd see the difference." And honestly, the numbers back him up. He dropped 46 points the day after his wife Aisha told him about it, and fans started tracking his SBT stats before toilet versus his SAT stats after toilet. Turns out, his numbers improved almost across the board. And the same year, Steph won his very first championship. So yeah, maybe championships really do start in the bathroom.
Charity donation, $50,000. But here's the twist. While Steph once dropped 10 grand just on a fancy toilet, when he spent 5 times that much, it wasn't on himself at all. It was supposed to be for something bigger, something meaningful. Steph was on Ellen's greatest night of giveaways, and instead of buying another car or watch, he chose to give back. He picked the East Oakland Boxing Association, a place close to his heart because of the work they were doing for kids in tough neighborhoods. On the show, you could see the excitement. Steph pulling up to the gym, meeting Solomon Howard, the executive director, shaking hands, smiling wide. Solomon talked about keeping kids off the streets, offering after-school programs, holistic wellness, giving them a shot at a better life. Steph surprised them with brand new equipment, dropped a $50,000 donation, and you could feel how real it was. The kids lit up, Solomon seemed emotional, and Steph left thinking he made a difference. But fast forward a few years later, breaking the news. Cameras catching Solomon walking into court, not for a celebration, but facing 20 years in prison. The charges? Tax evasion, embezzlement, and yes, pocketing part of Steph's donation. That $50,000 meant to help kids ended up in the wrong hands. And the craziest part? There's footage of Steph genuinely happy, proud of what he thought was a good deed, not knowing how it would all play out. It's one of those stories that shows how even the purest intentions can sometimes take a dark turn.
Bored Ape NFT, $180,000. But here's where things get wild. Steph's not just making splashy purchases. Sometimes he takes massive L's too. Remember those cartoon monkey profile pics? Yeah, the NFTs everyone swore were the future? Well, Steph bought into the hype big time. He dropped about $180,000 on a blue-furred, zombie-eyed ape in a suit, and even had an ice sculpture made of it. Flex level? Chef's kiss. He switched his profile picture, jumped in group chats, let the world know he was officially part of the club. But here's the kicker, when the hype crashed, that same ape tanked in value. Today, best offers hover around $22,000. That's nearly a $160,000 loss on a digital monkey. Painful.
Championship rings, $200,000. But sometimes when Steph wins, he doesn't just walk away with a trophy. He walks away with something way more insane. After leaving the Warriors past the Celtics to lock down his 4th title, Steph pulled up to the championship parade rocking one of the wildest chains you'll ever see. It wasn't just silver. It was silver with all 3 of his previous finals rings literally hanging from it like trophies on a necklace. And these weren't ordinary rings. The first one, from 2015, broke history as the first championship ring ever with baguette diamonds. On top of that, it had 16 princess-cut diamonds, each one marking a playoff win, and 4 glow-in-the-dark stones to symbolize the franchise's 4 total titles at that time. Fast forward to 2017, and the second ring leveled up, featuring the Warriors logo, golden diamonds shining everywhere, every player's number carved around the band, and ultra-rare blue sapphires hugging the bezel.
Then came the 2018 ring, and oh man, this thing looked like it ate other rings for breakfast. Flooded in diamonds, 2 trophy-sized rocks front and center, and it even had an interchangeable face so players could swap between sapphires or diamonds depending on the mood. But the real showstopper came with the 4th ring. Mostly yellow diamonds, the first of its kind, with a hidden compartment inside revealing how many trophies each player had stacked up. And just to add a little spice, they trolled the Celtics by engraving Boston's legendary parquet floor right into the design. Each ring runs about $50,000, which means Steph's little necklace flex is actually a $200,000 collection dangling off his chest.
3-point record memorabilia, $950,000. But if you really want to talk about value, nothing tops the night Steph broke history at Madison Square Garden. He walked into that game against the Knicks with 2,972 career threes, just 2 away from Ray Allen's all-time record. The crowd was buzzing, and within minutes, boom, he nailed one to tie it. But the real magic came next. The ball slung back into his hands, he rose up and drilled the shot that made him the all-time three-point king. The arena literally froze. The game stopped. Everyone stood on their feet as Steph fought back tears, soaking in a moment that will live forever. After leading his team to the win, he finally said the words he'd held back his whole career. "I never wanted to call myself the greatest shooter until I got this record. Now, I'm comfortable saying it." And here's where things get wild. Everything Steph touched that night turned into gold. His blue and gold shoes, stamped with his three-point total, went for $200,000. The Wilson ball that left his hands for that record-breaking shot, $250,000. And his custom jersey, splashed in blue, red, and yellow, sold for $500,000. Together, nearly $1 million of history, all born from one perfect shot.
McLaren Senna, $1.3 million. But that's nothing compared to when Steph decided to flex like Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo showed up with a McLaren Senna, and of course, Steph couldn't just let that slide. He had to grab one too. And man, this thing isn't just a car, it's basically a rocket with doors. His black and red beast costs $1.3 million and roars like thunder even when it's parked. On racing shows, people go crazy hearing it scream past 200 miles per hour. Me, I'd probably stick to Uber, but Steph, he owns it like a pro.
Ford GT Supercar, $2.1 million. And what's wild is this wasn't just a car, it was basically a fashion statement on wheels. Steph's love for sneakers went so far that when Under Armour dropped their new Echo line, they decided to go big, like ridiculously big. One of the pairs came in this bold black and yellow bumblebee look, and to match it, Mansory and Under Armour teamed up and created a custom Ford GT Supercar. And I'm not talking about just a logo slapped on the hood. No, this thing was dripping in branding, from the roof all the way down to the tires. It looked like a sneaker you could actually drive. The second Steph slid into that seat, you knew he was obsessed. And honestly, who wouldn't be? The price tag? A jaw-dropping $2.1 million.
Rookie card, $5.9 million. But here's the crazy part. Something Steph owns actually doubled up and broke a sports card record. After LeBron's rookie card sold for a jaw-dropping $5.2 million, everybody thought that record was untouchable. I mean, only 23 of those cards even exist. But then came Steph. His rookie card wasn't just rare, it was one of a kind. On the front, you've got a shot of babyface Steph, the actual NBA logo patch from his jersey, and his autograph. On the back, rookie stats and a bold 1 of 1. That combo made history when the card sold for an insane $5.9 million, officially becoming the most expensive NBA card ever.
San Francisco condo, $8 million. But Steph spent even more on something that literally touches the clouds. Picture this, a condo 500 feet up in the San Francisco sky. On the 30th floor, his massive living room opens up to jaw-dropping city views that look straight out of a movie. Walk a little further and you'll find a closet so big, his stylist basically has a full-time job in there, plus a private wine cellar and even a personal movie theater overlooking the skyline. And yeah, he can change the temperature in every single room, but that's not the wildest part.
The building has a game room stacked with TVs, a pool table, and get this, a car elevator that literally lifts his car straight into the garage. No wonder everyone was talking when Steph dropped $8 million on this sky-high palace.
Private jet, $15 million. But then there's something on a whole different level. A toy that can literally zoom almost 700 miles an hour. Yeah, I'm talking about Steph's custom Under Armour private jet. Fans go crazy every time they catch him stepping off it because this isn't just travel, it's branding in the sky. Being the face of Under Armour means he can fly in style whenever he wants. One time, he landed in the Philippines, hopped off like a movie star, and then chilled inside the jet with his boys. Big, comfy seats, flat-screen TVs, the whole setup. And rumor has it, Steph even watches Hoop Flick while cruising through the clouds. Bro, imagine that! Now, tell me, how can I live with myself if I don't get a Hoop Flick jet one day? You want to see me win, right? Hit subscribe. Malibu Mansion, $26 million. Please subscribe. Anyways, Steph flying around in a $15 million jet still isn't the craziest thing. What really puts him on another level is his mansion sitting on top of a Malibu mountain. This place isn't just a house, it's basically a dream resort. Imagine waking up to floor-to-ceiling windows that make you feel like you're outside even when you're chilling on the couch. Downstairs, a full sports bar, a spa with an indoor jacuzzi, and yep, a golf simulator, because why not practice birdies at home? Oh, and the pool? It literally has its own private beach. But here's the kicker. What makes it insane isn't just the luxury inside, it's that it sits on one of the biggest mountains in Malibu. Price tag? A jaw-dropping $26 million. Bay Golf Club investment, $50 million. But the craziest flex, Steph didn't just buy a house, a car, or even another mansion. He literally bought himself a team. Yeah, the man dropped $50 million to become co-owner of the Bay Golf Club, a squad in Tiger Woods' new futuristic golf league called TGL. Imagine this, the top 24 golfers on the planet battling 3-on-3 inside an arena where they launch shots into a massive video screen that simulates any course in the world. And get this, the putting green, it actually shifts and reshapes with every hole, like something out of a video game. It's wild, it's high-tech, and it's already pulling more viewers than regular golf ever dreamed of. And of course, Steph's crew makes it even more fun, rocking Warriors colors and even hitting his famous night-night pose after wins. It's not just an investment, it's Steph turning golf into a show. And honestly, it feels worth every penny.
But here's the wild part. Steph can drop $50 million on a golf team. He can buy mansions, cars, even entire businesses. But the one thing he can't buy? You click on this next video. That's free. And honestly, after seeing the insane jump from $10 to $50 million, aren't you just a little curious what other crazy stuff NBA stars are hiding? So don't just sit here and check it out right now.